systems to see which one would adapt to my building, because I already designed my building. They told me, okay, what dates are you going to use? Of course, you try to stay sustainable. In areas, for example, the one that I was, you have to use AC. It gets very warm, it gets very cool, so we have to have an idea between sustainable and still use energy, because you have to use it. And you can get access to a lot of the water facilities. That's a model that I did for Barcelona. It's actually over there. Probably in the trash now. And you click next. Those are just some final sections I did. I still did this. Actually, this project did it in CAD, and I just showed the sections. You click next, you'll see some renders that I did for the building. This is you have to go inside the building. You have to go under the entrance. So actually, you go in here and you go through there. You have to show the materials that you want to use, like and details of it. So I was using concrete and wood for the whole part, of course, last time. That was pretty much it. And there was like a park up front, so I brought all the equipment inside the building, so we stay in the context. And that's it. That's it. I'm missing 4 classes at UTA, and those 4 classes are the ones that teach you more than anything how to use Revit and 3ds Max. So in case you're interested, I know a lot of people is interested in technology, but UTA does that until the last year, because they want you to think, they want you to do the spaces, they want you to know how to draw it, they want you to know how you imagine it. Because a lot of people use those programs, and then sometimes they hit a button and it makes a shape, they like it, and they keep it like that. But design purpose, no one can. So they don't want that. If you say, why do I have that shape? I don't know. I'm in trouble. So you really want to know. It's basically like SAC. I'm guessing if you say that to Mr. Connor or whoever, why is that shape? I don't know. Then you're screwed. You better have an explanation for it. So do you guys have any questions in terms of UTA, the portfolio, or anything you guys want to know about it?
I guess when you went to the university, were you pretty good at computers, or I know you were mostly hands, but I know here we kind of focus on hand. Did you feel like a disadvantage, or
at UTA?
Yeah.
No, because they teach the same process.
Okay, so they're all
hand. It's the same. They're all hand. It's the same as in here. Like first, second year, they do everything by hand. They can't touch computers at all. You have computers. The third year, you have a class for computer, and that's why they teach you. We have like a crazy guy that's teaching. He went to Pratt University, I think, or yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's Pratt. And he teaches you how to use SketchUp and Revit, but he wants you to show like a lot of weird ideas into the media, which is fun to do. I don't have those images, but you end up doing like different shapes, and you have to put them in SketchUp and then do a render of it. And it's nice, but I didn't feel bad, or I didn't feel like not to the potential of them, because we were still the same. You start learning the same thing just like you're learning here, you're gonna learn same things. So you'll feel like this is the next step to SAC. Same thing. Because the first projects whenever I got there, I was like, can I see your portfolio for the first project they did? And it was, of course, they had something different, as if you would take like Blunt and Volkswagen. If you take different teachers, you know they have similar stuff, but it's always going to be a different way of teaching. They would study a lot of collages, and then they do overlays of collages and have the main idea, and for that main collage have a building come out. But that's kind of what we did that's kind of what I did with Volkswagen. We were doing simple lines and then put color on them, and they do similar stuff. So that's whenever I went there, I felt comfortable because it was pretty close to what I was doing. So I didn't feel out of place. That's one thing. That was a good thing. Yeah.
Santiago, the student population over there, is it diverse? I mean, is it the same, or are there people from different parts of the world, or what was that like?
No. They're more than anything all from Texas.
So a lot of Texans.
Yeah, a lot of Texans. I know a lot of Mexicans. So I remember, well, actually, most of them are like that. But I remember I had one class, and one girl was from Nepal, the other one from Afghanistan, the one from China, the one from New Zealand, and like 5 from Mexico, and that class was from everywhere. But mainly the other classes are like all from Texas.
When you transferred, were there other transfer students that you were able to connect with? Or was it mostly?
It was mainly people from there.
Okay.
It was mainly people from there. I knew like there were like 2 or 3 other transfers or maybe more, but there were more than anything at a lower stage because they didn't get all their credits transferred. But yeah, I didn't get to meet other people. All the people that I met were already studying there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you work while you were?
No, it didn't work. Over there, like whenever I applied and I turned my portfolio, they gave me a scholarship there too. But it was, I think you over there you have to pay about the same as UTSA. You have to pay about 5,000 a semester. You have like 5 classes or 4 classes. So it's about that area of budget. But if you apply and you have a 3.0 and you will transfer, for transfer students, you've got a 3.0, they'll give you $1,000 for 1 year. And if they like the portfolio too. So it all depends when you apply. You have to apply early though, because they don't want those to go quick. Yeah.
When it came down to actually submitting your portfolio and trying to transfer out of SAC, how many schools did you actually apply to? And what was the amount of wait time, I guess, that you, or how long did you have to wait to actually hear back from any of the school?
I don't remember.
Oh, really?
But I know I applied maybe I think 4 months before school, and I got an answer probably after a month or a half. I would always call them, and I took some of my portfolios. Whenever I went to Dallas, I went there, gave them my portfolio. I didn't send it. I just wanted to be sure. I know it's gonna get there, but I just wanted to go and see the school too. So I went there, saw the school. I went to U of H, went there, saw the school. So I wanted to do that. UT, I know that deadline is before, because I have to check so many portfolios. I know that deadline is before, so I sent mine the day that was due. Like I went there with a friend, and they were closing in an hour, and I just got there. But I have no idea how long that. I don't remember really. But since I applied for like 4 months before, and I sent to 6 schools. Some schools told me like a month, and the other schools told me like 2, 3 months later. Yeah, they take a long time for the portfolios.
Do you remember how was your GPA when you applied to go?
3.8. Yeah, over there.
How's cost per semester?
Over there, like 5,000.
5,000?
Yeah.
That's-
About 5,000.
That's tuition.
Yeah, tuition and everything. Including all the fees and everything. Like from 4 to 6,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You talked about how the drawings process and those skills, helped you, and if any of you guys were here last week, when Marisol Reed was here from Pratt, that was a really big deal that kind of made her stand apart from a lot of computer-generated work. And that's something that, SAC is proud of and really reinforces. But on the flip side, was there anything you felt was missing from maybe as you came in as a third-year student to students that have been at UT or other transfer students that, something here at SAC that maybe should be reinforced or introduced to the students more?
Yeah, actually, like the first two teachers that I had, what they always commented about of the skills that because whenever we presented work, they knew I wasn't from there. Even they knew like where you go to school. I was like, how come? I was like, here. I know I didn't. Like, yeah, because I was enforcing more than anything the diagrams and all the party sketches and the developmental sketches that we had in here. Those they just turned out different. That they turned out better because you would see their sketches and they always wanted to come out with the final product right like that. It's not like that, so I was just showing you all the pros that I could. And if you show, like, of course, the teacher, since it's like a year and they go one by one by one, they would see all your sketches and say like, okay, this is a good idea. Just try to make them know what you're thinking. That's what they really like about it. But show all the process. Because sometimes, I remember I would show the final pros, like, no, show me everything. Like, because they would see the drawings right there in the corner. Like, no, show me those. So they would see everything. But I think it's what I like the most, and even in Barcelona or UTA, everyone, or like even at school, like I would start deciding, they told me switch this, I would switch it right at the moment, or like nice, I like that you can think fast and you do the sketch fast and you know the idea and you get the space, and that they really like that. In terms of whenever I was in the studio, they started doing they would start because it's like in here you go one by one, so they like that you can think and do it at the same time, so they can have the idea that you understand. It was nice to have that sketching too. Yeah. Questions? Good.
You guys, it is about 12:49, and our fearless leader is, I guess, not going to return. So, Santiago, I think on behalf of the Alumni Talks and Professor Rise and others, the students, thank you very much for attending. I have one last question, though. You mentioned UTSA, and you know, for a lot of us native San Antonians, UTSA seems to be something that's ingrained, like go to UTSA. You know, you're from Mexico, you come here. How do you, you know, you had said you applied to UTSA maybe kind of just in case, but what advice would you give to students, you know, from Texans about not going to a local school and traveling to some other school? What, you know, what was, you know, what's your advice about that?
Well, I'm gonna separate the question in two, because for one thing, for my part here, I lived with my parents, and whenever I went by myself, kind of with the school and the students and engaging in more than anything architecture than your family, I think that helped me a lot in having a lot of ideas. A lot of creative people were like helping me out, and I was helping them out. So I was always with students. That helped me a lot. And also for students, and like for the work that they were doing at UTSA. Of course, I went to UTSA to see their work more than anything. With Lorena, remember Lorena, we won a competition, and we had to present our work at Pearl Brewery. It was like 4 students from Old San Antonio. They had to pick 2 from UTSA and 2 from this school, and I went with another friend of mine. And you would just see the jury, or it wasn't a jury, it was just people walking by. They were all presenting their projects. They would just look at the projects from UTSA and turn around and look to it and stay with it. It was just, gee, whenever you see the comparison between their best projects and our best projects, there's no comparison. Like I remember everyone was like, they offered, whenever I went to Pearl Brewery, they offered, it was 3 from SAC, 2 from UTSA. They would offer they offered actually jobs to us at the Pearl Brewery. They were like, who made this, who made this one. Like, okay, why don't you talk to us, send us your portfolio? Like, no, we have school. We can't work right now, but thank you very much. They wanted, if you're interns, like, they were like, send us your portfolio later on, and man, we're gonna hire you. But that's a good idea about that, because we were lucky, because we were there, the best projects, and you see the difference. Or even if you go to UTSA, they have good projects, of course. They have some students are good. Like Lorena stayed at UTSA, and I've seen her projects, and they're awesome. They're still good, but not in any count percentage. I don't think that's gonna be that.
Wow.